Hey guys, Paul from Ashen. It is New Comic Book Day for the week of August 28th, and we're going to get started right now. This episode brought to you by Keystone Comic Con. Not really. I just wanted to mention Keystone Comic Con because it was this past weekend and I had a lot of fun. I might put something right above my head if you want to watch our cosplay video and check out what I actually did on the weekend.
Hey guys, Tim from Capes and Scowls. Thanks to everybody checking out Capes and Scowls. I like that. Let's talk about what trades we got going on. I've got Injustice 2 Volume 5. Still going very strong, because that game came out, what, like over a year ago, at least? Injustice 2, 2 years ago? It's been going strong.
At least 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
Time flies. Hey, it's doing well. War of the Realms, Journey into Mystery. You want to see Ares hold up a baby all menacingly? Yeah, you do. Captain Marvel, Volume 1. We reviewed this. This is Kelly Thompson. Decent stuff here. We've got Star Wars Vader Dark Visions. This was amazing. We read a handful of these. This was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. We got Superman of Smallville. DC Zoom title. It's got that Franco art. I like Franco a lot. We've got Harley Quinn Breaking Glass. This is a DC Inc. title. Has a really cool art style in it. Looks like a lot of fun. Batman Who Laughs hardcover. You like this? No, you didn't like this.
No, I fell off halfway through.
He fell off. Well, you can't fall off because you'll have a hardcover. You'll read the whole thing and you'll tell yourself you love it. So that's how that works. All right, let's talk about the previews now. I've got DC previews. This one's all jacked. Let's pick something random here. Supergirl Annual 2. Pretty creepy looking. She's like the Batman Who Laughs. Could be amazing. We got all kinds of new Marvel stuff over here. So I picked something old. Power Pack Classic Omnibus Volume 1. But hey, when's the last time you read some Power Pack? This week maybe. There's a new Power Pack book. And finally, the big preview. Something random. It's upside down. The Dragonfly and Dragonfly Man, number 1. So from Ahoy Comics. Ahoy Comics is actually pretty sweet. So get that, because you have to.
First up, we have Batman Curse of the White Knight, issue number 2. This is delving a little bit more into what is going on with the series. Batman is dealing with all of the fallout from the first series of the book and coming out as Batman. And now the elites are now starting to fight back because rich people don't want him to expose all of the bad things the rich people have been doing. All the while, a grudge from 300 years ago, at least in this universe, where Jean-Paul, better known as Azrael, is now going to try to kill Batman and take part of the land that apparently his ancestors took from him in Gotham. It's an interesting series because the Joker is definitely more of a backseat character, at least in the first 2 issues. So I'm very curious how they're going to integrate him, because he definitely was my favorite part of the last series, and I genuinely hope that he doesn't stay a backseat character for the rest of this one. Pick it up.
All right, first up for me, I've got Monsters, Marvel Monsters. You don't have to be super familiar with all the crazy monster characters that exist in the Marvel Universe. They will explain this to you in this book. You are following Kid Kaiju, who has the ability to draw monsters in a book, and they will appear in real life. What is interesting about this is he is looking for someone who is creating monsters that are attacking people and doing other villainous acts. And he finds this place he's investigating that has a book about making chimeras. And what is super fun about this issue is it has a lot of diagrams like this where it shows you what each monster does, how it operates. It has a different artist doing... it's literally like flipping through a book. It's awesome. It has a cover, everything. And this, I mean, it's not your typical book. I mean, you go through it pretty quick. But I just thought this was such a clever idea, and it adds to the story when you finally do come out the other side and things get real. Fun book. This is actually a super clever idea. I enjoyed it. I don't know how in I am for more, but, I mean, Man-Thing's there.
Next up, we have Red Sonja and Vampirella meet Betty and Veronica, issue number 4. That's a long title. This has been a fun, cute book between all of these properties, dealing with Betty and Veronica and Vampirella and Red Sonja. The typical fish out of water story when you're dealing with Vampirella and Red Sonja. But we are coming towards the end where we're finally figured out why people are dying, even though they've arrested Vampirella for the murders. Things just continue to spiral down. But it's still kind of a fun book, so it's that weird kind of like, hey, this is kind of funny, but people are dying. So it's like, yeah, kind of laugh, but at the same time, it's like, people are dying, stop laughing at this book. And it's that kind of fun ride that you have with a typical funny Archie book. So if you like that kind of stuff, this has definitely been a fun series. Pick it up.
All right, next up we have Dr. Mirage, issue 1. If you're confused, Dr. Mirage has existed in Valiant for 1,000 billion years, and it was a male character before. The male character is involved in this, but this is about his wife, and she is coping with the loss of him. He has apparently died in the previous series, and this is a very weird, deep kind of book where you don't know what's real and what's not real. Is she alive? Is she dead? Is she on Earth? Is she in hell? A lot of kind of feelings like that. There is a girl who shows up who should not be able to show up. She shouldn't be able to find her home, which is invisible and hidden from mortal eyes. And she's like, hey, your dead husband's very annoying and he keeps telling me to help you. And it kind of goes from there. The art in this is super clever, super cool. The breakdown, the way you read it, when there's really trippy art going on, and just trying to find you a good example here. I'll find one. You know what? I'm not going to do it. There's very cool art in this book. There, you can edit it better now. There's very cool art in this book.
I'm not going to.
No, it's just all this mess?
Yep.
Alright. Well, I apologize for Paul's laziness. Everybody at Valiant. I was trying to find an example. The book's fun. If you enjoy Valiant, you should check it out. It's not going to be for everybody. It's a deep book. It's dealing with a lot of... There's some religion to it. There's some spirituality. There's some ghost hunting kind of feel to it. It's not going to be for everybody, but if you like those kind of things, it should be a lot of fun for you.
Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man issue number 28. I'm just not going to stop ranting and raving about how good this book is. Nick Spencer has just made me love Spider-Man all the more than I do. I mean, he was already my favorite, but his writing is spectacular. Even though Ryan Ottley is not on the interior of this book, it's still a great book to read. We're dealing with the fallout from the last issue where Boomerang has been kidnapped by the new syndicate, and things go wrong because Beetle is trying to basically do what she kind of yelled at Boomerang for, which is turning her back on the entire syndicate for an inside payout. And things go wrong. Spider-Man is kind of stuck between dealing with literally the lesser of two evils, dealing with the syndicate or dealing with Boomerang or dealing with Fisk. And one of those is going to win out, and it's definitely a fun issue to read. Not my pick of the week, but really, really close.
All right, it's time for my pick of the week, and it is Spider-Man Velocity number 1. In a week of Spider-Man news, I wanted some fun Spider-Man thing to read. This is in the Gamerverse, and things aren't quite the same in the Gamerverse. For example, Mary Jane is a photographer for the Daily Bugle. Peter is a struggling scientist. And he's fighting Swarm, and he's got a lot of great quips and puns, because you're fighting a man made out of bees. And while he's doing that, Mary Jane and Ben Urich are investigating disappearing food. These are two extremely silly stories, but when you watch them in action, it's actually a lot of fun, and I enjoyed this a lot. I think if you need just a fun Spidey story that's low commitment and you can just enjoy it, and when you're like, hey, Sony, why don't we have this deal? Disney, why don't we have this deal? Who cares? There is so many years of Spider-Man for you to read. There is like 17,000 Spider-Man books every week. Quit your bitching and read a book, kids.
What is my pick of the week? It is House of X, issue number 3. I had to make sure that I checked the issue number because I definitely said Powers of X issue number 6 last week, and it was issue number 3. I caught that in post, but I couldn't fix it. Anyway, this is House of X issue number 3. This series has just been amazing. If you were not a fan of the X-Men, or you've fallen off the X-Men, this is the perfect series that you really should be picking up, because it is setting up something new, but it's also still kind of letting you know what came before it. It's just so good. And basically, this is all building off of the information that you got in Powers of X issue number 3 last week. So I'm not going to spoil that, but all of this issue is literally built on that information that you learned in the last 2 panels of that book. And it sets up a great race against time, and a series of checks and balances, and the balance that is checked against is rough, and I'm curious how that's going to go in the next issue. But you definitely should be reading this. The art is spectacular. The writing has pulled me in like no other X book has, and this is definitely one to read.
All right, that's the end of the video. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Paul, how you feeling, Paul?
I'm doing good.
Paul's good. I'm good. I appreciate everybody who sent me birthday wishes, even though I wish you didn't tell everybody my birthday. But thank you for that. Yes, I was happy. Moon Knight news came out on my birthday. Like, it just couldn't get any better. I was at the Marvel exhibit at the for those who don't know, who aren't local to us, the Franklin Institute has this Marvel exhibit with all the comic art and the suits from the movies and everything. I was in there wearing a Moon Knight shirt when I heard it. Does it get any crazier than that? It's pretty funny. It's not that funny, I'm sorry. Anyways, thank you for checking out the video. I'm sure it was sponsored by shirts or something. And, Paul, anything you want to plug before I take us home?
No, that's pretty much it.
Alright, I'm taking you home.